Good evening and thank you for listening to our finding regarding to Superstore expansion. Our consulting group BYJV is consists of me, my husband, Younus, Jack and Vanessa. First of all, I will talk about our mission. Our mission is to provide Superstore with analysis and recommendation to maintain sustainable business in the US, expand internationally, and apply new technology to increase profits. The next one, I will talk about hypothesis with a question. Does the most profit per order in smaller city derive from home office customer? Our answer is yes, most likely because they either live further away from the store, so would rather get on their shopping than in one go, or order in by phone to avoid the hassle. The next one, we ask about does a corporate customer claim the most profit per order, and do this customer tend to reside in big city? Our answer also yes, most likely since ordering more on bulk. However, size of city make no difference. As you can see here, technology is the most profitable category. Consumer purchase more technologies, and phone and accessory are what they are purchased the most. Event or copier are the most profitable subcategories overall for tech. And you can see here that for the furniture product, like it comprise only 7% profit. It's not really make the money much. So with this data further display revenue and profit for all three categories. As you can see here, overall demand growth is much more significant for the supply and tech. And now I would like to hand over to my colleague Younus to talk more detail.
Thank you, Ben. So other findings we have is the profit per category and city, and also the profit for city. We have found that the highest profit for consumers are in the tech hub wealthiest cities of the US, and which also happen to be the most profitable cities overall. On next slide, we can see that our third hypothesis and question are talking about the correlation between the discount and the profit. We could find that yes, there is a negative correlation with a significant p-value. So the discount needs to be under 9% if the company is really looking to find a more profit business. And as you can see from the graphs, we have found the average discount order profit per cities for Los Angeles, San Francisco, Seattle, and New York, which shows almost 7% or less. From the other findings for Superstore in Europe, we could see that the profit per city and the average discount rate ranges between like 12 to 14% for Berlin as the highest, and almost 2 to 3% in Edinburgh as the lowest. Where we can also see that the profit of London reached up to £15,000, and Edinburgh had the lowest of £5,000. We have also came to a comparison of profitable cities for a person earning of an annual wage or monthly income, and also the population. So as you can see that the annual wage and the monthly income of London and San Francisco are almost the same, where San Francisco had $72,000 or $73,000, and London ranked in the number 11 average monthly income within Europe. And also the population of profitable cities of New York and London are very similar, of 8 million in population. So we really recommend to see that an expansion of a similar market like Europe, like to the US, in terms of population and average annual income wage will be a great strategy of international expansion. From our data conclusions, we recommend to focus on consumers in wealthy tech cities, and also to grow consumer profit per order in big cities, and to stop giving so many large discounts in smaller cities, because that would really affect the profit at the end, and to grow home office category in smaller cities via e-commerce platform, and also not to expand internationally, especially with the furniture business. So we really would recommend to sell off the furniture business of Superstore. And now I would love to hand it over to my colleague Jack, and then he will go from there.
All right, thank you, Younus. And now we'll move on to where we are going next. We're looking for a country that is very similar to the US and European culture, very developed and has superior technology and infrastructure. But most of all, the city that we're choosing has to be high income earning, really somewhere that's good for doing business, starting a business, has limited corruption, and similar population density to some of the other cities that we've mentioned already. And not only that, but we wanted to focus on somewhere that has strong online retail growth and has an upward trend of working remotely or from home. And the reason being is because there is a trend, not only in New Zealand, but just everywhere for consumers working at home. It's a lot of companies in New Zealand are very hybrid or fully remote compared to other countries. And so what we've decided, and the reason that we are coming to you live from Auckland right now is because we think Auckland, New Zealand is the next place for Superstore to expand. New Zealand is #1 in the world for doing business, starting a business, and even registering property if Superstore wants to build their own store rather than lease it. And the average monthly income and population of Auckland are very similar to Paris. Top 3 for digital competitiveness, I'll be explaining that shortly. And as you can see, corruption is very low, and online retail and online shopping is booming in New Zealand. So this is the Digital Competitiveness Index, basically showing that New Zealand is standing out only with 2 other countries. The rest of the European and US markets are kind of saturated with technology and kind of stalled out. They're not moving forward innovative. So it's very important to for the office technology category to be moving into New Zealand because they are on an upward trend right now, which isn't very common around the world right now. This kind of shows it a little more too for domestic online retail spending. And once again, the least corrupt countries. But keep in mind there are some risks. So I'd like to wrap up saying that corporate tax rate needs to be looked at a little bit further. And same with a greenfield or brownfield operation. The brownfield might be better to reduce costs, but once again, registering property in New Zealand is very good. And then finally, just really creating brand awareness of the categories is really important coming into a new country, especially this country, considering they already have some big box competition with several Office Max stores that would be very competitive. So now I'll leave it to our final colleague, Vanessa, to wrap things up. A little bit more about technology.
Thank you, Jack. Now we're going to talk about customer relationship management. 60% of New Zealanders use smartphones in stores to research before buying. This means that with their mobile devices, they can access augmented reality customer reviews, which would boost sales, improve in-store customer experience. A well-integrated customer relationship management with POS data would offer Superstore a vivid picture of who these customers are. Superstore would be able to further segment these customers by filtering specific criteria. Location-based marketing. Superstore would be able to track customers in real time to influence last-minute purchase decisions while offering timely incentives and discounts. Customers would be able to add on products to their shopping carts while based on past customer pairings using augmented reality. iLab Connect. With an interactive augmented reality mobile application rolled out as a test experiment in Auckland for 1 year, Customers can sign on using different social media platforms such as Facebook and Twitter using Wi-Fi. This is how it works. Once customers enter the store, they sign on to the Wi-Fi. Superstore would receive data, and this would empower their customer relationship management. It will also enable them execute targeted marketing campaigns. They will also be able to have better knowledge of these customers. iLab Flow. This is a location-based analytic platform that complies with privacy laws and requires no personal information. Superstore would be able to use heat maps and footfall patterns to track historical data and seasonal trends. They will be able to track point of sale revenue data and what aisle were the busiest. All this data, though unstructured, would enable Superstore plan, execute, understand what is successful and the impact of their business strategy, because there is a correlation between sales and footfall pattern. Implementation. Prior to this project, it is important to note that Superstore had basic data with very little insight. Superstore can utilize this data to offer more experiential services, upsell and upscale to a transformative business model. They will be able to monitor productive conditions, improve operations, and optimize performance. They would be able to create a more fluid supply chain, recreate its product as a service premium, capture value and customer interaction and scale. Gone are the days of assets. Data is now the new oil. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Let's go, Auckland.
Auckland!